What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And guys, if these latest allegations are true that one of the Braxton sisters actually stole the mama's social security check, we have not seen such a big scandal of R&B singing reality TV stars since the Queens of R&B. And y'all know how that ended.
This ain't stealing.
Like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what was up.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Unblock me, and I'll give your grandma back her dentures. I said, unblock me, and I'll give your grandma back her dentures. You want the bitch to eat, right? Unblock me.
I told you.
That was not expected.
Okay, guys. So just to fill you in on what's been going on in the last 4 days, what happened was WeTV released an extended trailer for an upcoming episode where we saw Toni Braxton almost fight Tamar, and we thought that it was just about the niece who had allegedly had inappropriate text while she was underage with Trina's husband, Gabe, and we thought that that was where all of the family's tension was arising. But in this extended clip, we heard all kinds of rumors, like Tamar had slept with and stole one of Toni Braxton's men. And we also heard that Towanda had allegedly slept with and stole one of Toni Braxton's men, and she owed Towanda money. Well, that has opened the door for a lot of conversation and a lot of internet detectiving, if that's even a word. And the end result is we don't know what to believe at this point. We don't know who was with who. We don't know nothing. We just know that there's a lot more mess going on in the Braxton family that we could have ever imagined. But I did find this clip, and I thought it was pretty interesting with the allegations that Towanda had slept with Toni Braxton's man.
Penises brought us together.
That don't even sound right. The penis brought us together.
Brought us together.
I don't share my sister's penis.
I don't share me either. I don't. That's disgusting.
It's very disgusting. That's how you get a yeast infection and chlamydia.
Ew.
Very interesting. Oh, now's a good time to like the video. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. So one of my favorite messy Instagram accounts, here ASAP, posted this, and it says, Towanda Braxton accused of stealing from her mother and bad-mouthing her sisters. Towanda Braxton accused of stealing from her mom, her sisters Toni Braxton, and bad-mouthing the rest of her sisters by a disgruntled employee. It all started after Toni Braxton's former assistant Zoe blasted Towanda on his podcast for owing him money for work he did on her skincare line. Zoe claims Towanda stole her mother's social security checks, stole money from her more famous sister Toni, and that she trash talks the family to whoever will listen. So y'all know how I do it. I hear this. This sounds crazy. Let me find the podcast. I did, in fact, find the podcast. Zoe actually does a podcast, or did a podcast, with the music artist Nivea for it looks to be about a year. Now, what I did not find was that specific episode. So then I had to go back and dig and see where else this could have come from. Rhymes with Snitch did the initial post. They're alleging that this mug shot was actually, they said that there was some check kind of issue going on from where Towanda worked with her husband at the same company, and that's why she has a mug shot. Not quite sure. But they posted this, and it was the same thing about the former assistant, so blasting her. Again, they didn't have any clips, so I moved on to another post, and it's basically the same thing. Towanda Braxton accused of stealing her mother's SSI check. And this comes from a former employee, I believe, like manager and assistant, Tony, Tamar, and Towanda. So again, I'm looking, and all of the clips have been removed. Let me see. Then, my favorite, Lipstick Alley, they had a little bit more. So they allege the same thing, but they're saying that Zoe was upset because Towanda did not pay him for the work that he did on her now dissolved skincare line. So everybody was reposting all the stuff that he allegedly said, but as you guys know, if somebody takes it down, then those links are broken. They weren't doing screenshots. It says, here's what he said about those SSI checks. Apparently, she stole from Tony too and talked shit around Atlanta to anyone who will listen. She's mad. And this is a screenshot. Let me see. It says, in loud and public places too. I'll never forget seeing this on a red carpet, speaking so crazy and down to her family. Zoe responds, trust you ain't the only one that's seen it. Everyone in Atlanta knows. So there's multiple sources, although if you want to go through a full years, I went through a majority. Every time that Zoe had posted something on his Twitter that seemed like it was talking about Towanda, I then went and cross-referenced it with the actual podcast from that date. And then I went 2-3 podcasts before that and 2 and 3 podcasts after that. But for the most part, it just seemed like him and Nivea were talking about music, maybe some hot topics, but I didn't really hear him talking about the family. So then lastly, there was a YouTuber who actually did a video on it in real time from 5 years ago. And this is what she had to say.
From Zoe, who is supposed to be Toni Braxton's assistant. So Zoe, he spilled a lot of tea. He has a podcast. He has a new podcast out, according to Zoe. And he's basically spilling tea because he is mad at Towanda because she hasn't paid him. She was supposed to be doing a skincare line, and I'm assuming that he was helping her with marketing and getting everything together. Well, that deal fell through. So it's a dissolved business venture. But he didn't get paid. So on his podcast, he decided to, quote, air her out. Oh my God. So he decided to embarrass her by telling her all her business. He claims that Towanda once stole her mother's SSI check. This is her mother, Miss Evelyn. Look at, steal? Why would you? Look at this geriatric goddess. Lord, those kids.
Not a geriatric goddess.
Crazy. This is absolutely wild. So.
And shout out to it was She Royal B. That came from her podcast. Now, so you guys can kind of decide if you believe that she actually stole the Social Security checks. I sourced it through 4 different sites and then attempted to get the information directly from that podcast. Again, you can find that podcast on Stationhead under Filthy, I think. But okay, what I did find that was kind of interesting was her bankruptcy fraud stuff came back up. It says, now this is from 2019. Braxton, Family Value star Towanda Braxton accused of fraud in $76,000 bankruptcy battle. So basically, her landlord had said that he was owed $76,000 by her. And some of the stuff that happened in his home, it was back rent, but there were also knife stabs in the walls. What is happening? No, I'm not going to make any, I have no idea whether there were knife stabs through the wall. She said there was also fire damage and back rent that was not paid. So she was going to go into bankruptcy. And what he was asking the judge was to ensure that in the bankruptcy, her debt to her landlord would not be excused. So I'm like, okay, this all just sounds normal, right? Until I found this. It says federal judge sides with landlord. Towanda Braxton must pay back creditors in bankruptcy case. Braxton family values star and singer Towanda Braxton is in a world of financial trouble after a federal judge recently dismissed her bankruptcy case following a finding that the 49-year-old actress neglected to report the scope of her finances as part of her bankruptcy agreement. According to court documents filed last month and obtained by Radar Online, the judgment comes nearly 4 years after the reality star filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. In 2019, Braxton claimed that she had over $6,000 in monthly bills with a monthly income of only $4,600 during the filing. Braxton stated she only had $150 in her checking account and had completely wiped out her savings. The actress told the court she had only $277,000 in assets, which included a recently purchased home in Georgia worth $275,000, $1,500 in household goods, and another $1,000 in clothes. However, now this is where it gets messy, so definitely like the video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe. It says, however, her debt was nearly twice as much, specifically $547,000. The breakdown included $417,000 owed on her mortgage, $35,000 to her sister, Tamar Braxton, for a personal loan, $8,000 to an undisclosed Christian school, another $6,000 in medical bills, and $76,000 owed to a former landlord. The property owner filed a separate lawsuit in connection with the star's bankruptcy case, demanding that her debt to him not be erased. Wagner alleged that Braxton completely failed to disclose and fraudulently concealed her 100% shareholder interest in Big Toe Inc., a company defendant Braxton set up to conceal her entertainment income and avoid paying creditors like myself. Though the defendant, Braxton, asserted that she only received $4,600 in average income per month in April of 2019, the reality is that Ms. Braxton had far more income, which she deposited into bank accounts in the names of T. Braxton Beauty Company, the beauty company that got dissolved, where the assistant manager guy did not get paid, Big Toe Inc., and Big Toe. Defendant Braxton hid hundreds of thousands of dollars in assets in the bank accounts. Braxton was said to have fraudulently underscheduled the value of her residence in the petition, listing it as only worth $275K. The singer later admitted it was appraised at $450K, and although she claimed she didn't own a vehicle, Wagner pointed out that she was spending $160 per month in gas expenses. So, okay, full disclosure, I like to source things, and I was talking to a friend of mine who actually is a fan of the Braxtons, and he told me, he was like, I feel like it's a pile up. And I was like, well, let me source some of these things, because sometimes the best thing you can do is source where the information comes from. And if we don't have anything else indicating that this woman, did anything fraudulent, I'll tell the people. So what I was expecting to do with this video was to be like, this is what was said, and it very well might just be a disgruntled employee. And you just never know. And because I could not hear with my own ears, but then I'm seeing these things that I just told you guys about, and it's like, oh, so maybe there is an alleged history there. But not to be outdone, let me see when Tamar divorced. When did Tamar divorce Vince? They filed in 2017. So I thought this was kind of strange. So Towanda actually decided to sue Vince in 2018 because she alleged that he was hiding money from her because she and I believe Tracy wrote the theme song to Braxton Family Values, but it was listed solely as being owned and written by Vince and Tamar. So she said she was going to sue because she was not getting paid the money or her royalties for the song. So I'm like, pot meat kettle. In her defense, this made sense. It said Towanda Braxton said she could not do a 9 to 5. Towanda Braxton once revealed that clocking into a regular 9 to 5 just isn't in the cards for her, not because she's above it, but because fame does not allow you to move in silence. And I thought, well, that makes sense because look at what happened to old boy from the Cosby Show. Once he was working, I think at like a Costco, maybe Whole Foods. People made fun of him, and to the point where a producer television series gave him a job. So that kind of makes sense. She says she'll be recognized everywhere she goes, and it makes it impossible to live a normal life without being judged, approached, or side-eyed. Imagine trying to work a shift and folks pulling out their phones, asking for selfies, or whispering about your family drama while you're just trying to make a living. So, I'm giving her a little grace. We don't actually know. I mean, it has been sourced a few places, but we don't actually know if she stole her mama's Social Security check. We don't know. If the internet detective wants to go and check that out and go through every single podcast that was put out by Zoe and Nivea, you can. I'm not. I did my due diligence. It took hours. Now to Tamar. Literally, I was minding my business and a friend of mine texted me. She goes, "Why is Tamar all up in Birdman's face on Versus?" I was like, I didn't even know there was a Versus. Yes, Tamar was there at Versus with Birdman. It's a little strange now that the reports are coming out that she allegedly dated him way back in 2003 and all of this. I'm going to say I don't mind that she was there. She still has to make a living. A lot of people saw that Versus, and Tony was okay with it.
Oh, the nigga was the #1 trending topic. I tried to tell him, I show him. He don't know what that is. I'm like,
I don't know that.
Bro, you the #1 trending topic in the world. Well, bitch, come on, Tony Braxton, bitch.
Look at her. She thinks she's good, fan talk TV. Stop acting like you all that, baby. Because
don't say that because she is all that.
She is all that.
Tamar a little hype. Anyway, I will allow it. I don't mind it. If you're a fan of, especially, Louisiana music like I am, I watched it. I enjoyed it. Even though they were late and had to end early, I thought it was great. Shout out to Kelly Price. She looked great. I saw her on stage as well. She sang the hook to, I think it was the No Limit. Let me see. Oh, she was there to support Mia X. Okay. So anyway, guys, I will allow it. Is if Tony, Tamar, Birdman all have some type of former, history, whatever.
Penises brought us together.
That don't even sound.
Anyway. Like the video on your way out. I will definitely see you guys later. Not today, but tomorrow. I have a Keke Palmer story. So y'all have a good one.